Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Before recording the video, I took all the time in the world. I watched the game twice, yes, I watched that horror show twice, I found the strength this morning to do it. But I also took all the time to structure the video. Because, first of all, I wanted to give sense to myself of what happened yesterday. I didn't want to be the fastest one to upload a video. I didn't want to just upload to have a maximum of view. But I wanted to give sense to me, what happened yesterday, and try to structure the video in a most objective possible way to share my opinion with you. My opinion doesn't mean that it's correct, that is right. So you can totally disagree with me in the comment section, of course, only if you are respectful towards me, but also towards the people that we are speaking about, because don't forget, we are speaking about football. We are speaking about people, human beings. So respectful, but write me. And of course you will be angry, of course you will be frustrated, and it's welcome on the channel to write whatever you want to, in a respectful manner. Anyway, all that could go wrong yesterday went wrong. But when I'm telling you everything, I mean everything. Today I will speak about 4 different topics. The first one is multiple individual mistakes. Individual mistakes. Horror of mistakes. The second point is that we were outclassed by Dionisi yesterday, tactically outclassed, and I will show you some images so that it's more clear how yesterday Sassuolo won the game tactically. Yes, I will speak about Allegri, that is also at fault of the game and the performance of yesterday. I will give you some things where I don't agree with a lot of people, but one thing that I want to blame him more than everything is the fact that he anticipated some things, but he couldn't find the answers, the solution to avoid what himself anticipated the day before in press conference. And then, because yesterday I didn't speak about it, not that today I will make all a story about it, but again, another huge referee mistakes that is in a way changing the game. Maximum of like if you didn't yet, yes. I had the strength to watch back the game of yesterday. If you find the strength to put a maximum of like, do it now. Continue to subscribe to the channel because you know it's supporting the channel more than you think. So let's try to enter. The first things I want to go is generally. Yesterday we had, and we all know it about, and we were all enthusiastic about it, and we all believed about it. We had the opportunity to do something beautiful after 5 days. We could finally give that doses of belief. Of believing to be first momentarily, waiting for the game of Inter, first on top of that Serie A for more than, let's say, 18 hours. And when we understood it, that we could, that first little step towards something important and beautiful, not crucial, not decisive, but the first really beautiful thing, well, we failed. We failed miserably because we were scared. We had no mental strength from the moment that we understood that we could do something beautiful. And we see it, and we saw it, we had shaky legs. Look at all the wrong passes, all the wrong decisions. This comes from mentally being fragile and having shaky legs. Otherwise, I can't explain it myself. The other thing that I wanted to quote, fantastic message yesterday during the live from Thomas Makloff, a loyal from the channel, a fantastic friend. He wrote probably the best picture. If you didn't watch the game yet, or if you don't know what happened, well, just that sentence will tell you everything you need to know. A team that is afraid to win will lose. I repeat, a team that is afraid to win will lose. And this is exactly what happened. We were afraid to win, and at the end, we lost. So let's try to go step by step, starting with point 1, individual mistakes. We gifted 4 goals. Yesterday, one after the others, are 4 gifts that we are giving to Sassuolo. Starting with the first one, because at that moment where we concede that first goal, they didn't have a shot on target. Juventus was in the game. Probably not the most beautiful, entertaining Juventus ever, but we were in the game. With some attempts from Juve, 0 on target, but still some attempts from Juve, 0 attempts from Sassuolo. And out of nowhere, you have that shot of Loriente that is powerful, that is crazy, that is unpredictable, that you are not expecting from that part of the field, from that moment of the field. And Szczesny is totally surprised. Big, huge mistake from Szczesny. And if you want to excuse him on that first goal, because it's a huge mistake that you can't excuse, but you can say maybe it was rainy, maybe the shot is surprising, maybe it's too powerful and you don't have the strength to do with your hand, whatever you want to. But it remains the fact that it was a huge mistake of our goalkeeper, giving the lead to Sassuolo. We found the strength to go back to equalize. What happens then? It's that second goal that is totally crazy. Because if you watch here, Mateus Enrique, that we anticipated to pay attention to, because he was the metronomo, the guy that would direct the orchestra of Sassuolo. If you are giving him all the space and easily is able to sit down Miretti with Rabiot that is not on him, not supporting his guy, but is trying to chase it in slow motion velocity, we have a problem. Look at all the space around him. He continues to run and he has even more diverse options because we totally forget to defend. Look at the distance of Danilo to Berardi. Look at the number 24 right next to him. That is another solution and he has all the time in the world to go on shot. At the end he goes for Berardi. Not even a control. He's going with his left foot in the opposition post. Fantastic goal, beautiful goal, but mistake of Juve because you're absolutely not organized defensively and in the midfield. The third goal is a replica of that first one. This time you don't even have the excuse of being surprised by the rain, by the powerful shot of Llorente, that it's a player that can go on target from there because he's doing exactly the same. And again, Szczesny, instead of putting that ball out on the sideline, or in corner kick, or whatever, is giving it to Pinamonti. Another mistake. And then that fourth goal, ragazzi, do we have to speak about it? What a strange, crazy goal. Own goal by Federico Gatti. I don't want to put 100% mistake on Gatti. I want to share it also with Szczesny, because on that side, if you decide to take it, instead of Fagioli, that free kick, you need to ask your team to go up. You have to communicate. You can't just give that ball to Gatti. Some people said, yeah, but he was marked. No, he was not marked. But anyway, you need to ask your team with your vocal, with your voice to go up. We were not able to avoid it because we are giving that, and then Gatti is doing a disaster. Image that went totally viral and correctly. But attenzione, it's not over, eh? Because we can say the 4 goals, but there were much more than that to tell you how disaster was Juventus yesterday. That bar and then the goal line that was touched by De Frel. How many sitters missed by Llorente? They could have scored 7, if not 8 goals yesterday. Eh? Look at the map with all the shots. The black dots are the one of Sassuolo, inside the box, outside the box, from everywhere. They had the opportunity to go on target, or at least to go with attempts. Disaster. Our defense, I already told you, the 3 individuals, but also collectively, was totally crazy yesterday in a bad way. But even our midfield ghosted the 3 of them that started. Eh? Rabiot, Locatelli, Miretti. There is an explanation why Miretti, I will come on it in a second, but the 3 of them were really, really bad. On top of that, Kostic. What is happening to Kostic? What is happening? Last year he was the best assist man and was, yes, a linear player, but when he was doing his linear thing, he was doing it well. This year he looks totally lost. And then you go towards our strikers. If yesterday I want to save Federico Chiesa, I want to save how Fagioli entered, and probably the 41st minutes of Weston McKennie, well, Vlahovic yesterday was really bad. We were praising him for 4 games in a row, and he deserved to be praised. We were praising the fact that he was training a lot more on his weak foot, the right one. And look at the 2 goals that he's scoring against Lazio. I don't want that he improved the right foot and that he lost in his left, that is his natural left foot. Crazy. How can you miss a goal like that? But not only, in the first half, how many times he was not able to find the right position on crosses of Chiesa or McKennie. How many times he was not able to control that ball. Yesterday was a really, really bad game of Dusan Vlahovic. The second point, if you are still there, tactically outclassed, and I know you are still there because you are waiting to understand what I will tell you about Max Allegri. It will come right after that one. Outclassed tactically. In the midfield, we were outclassed with Mateus Enrique, that number 7, and that number 11 yesterday. They were outclassing Balsrami. They were outclassing our midfield. They were obliging Miretti to not play his game. We know that Miretti was played there in that position because he had the ability, more than any other midfield that we have, to go up and play behind the striker, giving that link with Chiesa and with Vlahovic, taking some defenders away, and then maybe he will not shine, but his position is super important to give us more possibilities to dialogue with our strikers. Yesterday, the midfield of Sassuolo, they forced him in that first half to go on the right side, with McKennie and Gatti obliged to drop back a bit, and they were by far superior. From the moment that they took the lead, they were even more better in their understanding how to master the counter-attack game. Yesterday, totally outclassed by Dionisi. Ragazzi, I told you about Fagioli, a player that I liked, but then I want to go towards the third part, sorry. I want to go towards the coach. I will not blame the coach about his initial lineup, because I know that a lot of people are blaming the choice of McKennie over Weah. Ragazzi, for me, it was the right, correct choice. A lot of people are probably blaming Miretti over Fagioli, but more than that, there are not a lot of things to say. Maybe the mistakes of Kostic starting instead of Cambiaso, but we were all asking for two same lineups in the era of Massimiliano Allegri. Actually, to be honest, without the goalkeeper, it would have been the third one that we are playing with the same field players. The ones that were fantastic against Lazio, exactly the same, were a disaster, horror show against Sassuolo yesterday. So the initial choices are not bad. I will tell you even more. When we understand what are the problems that we are doing, is even entering Ealing on the left and Fagioli for Miretti. Fagioli that is giving much more balance in that midfield. He was the best one of the midfielders yesterday, not that it was difficult. So I don't even want to blame the first subs of Allegri. But what I'm blaming him is the fact that he was not able to wake up in the honor, in the grinta, the team at halftime, but even more, the fact that he was not able to solve what he anticipated in the press conference of the day before. I went back to the press conference and I highlighted 5 sentences that he already knew that we would lose that game or not do well. First one, there is a lot of enthusiasm around the team, which is good, but on the other side is taking mental energy and focus away. 1. 2, there will be less beautiful game, so he's already anticipating that Juve Sassuolo will not be a beautiful played game by Juventus, but also during these games we need to reach the result. So he's already describing that it will be a difficult game, that Juventus will not play probably like we played against Lazio, because it will be a tough game, but we need to go with results. He's not speaking there about victory. Third one, you feel that we have a great atmosphere, but these four first games of the season must not make us think that we arrived yet. Fourth one, winning tomorrow means that we are temporarily over Inter. Yes, that needs to be a stimulus, but you don't win or lose a game. No, you don't win or lose the league with only one game result. So he's already telling you, in a way, yes, it can be a stimulus. Yes, it can be an opportunity to be first. But if we don't win, if we draw, or if we lose, it's not acceptable, but that will not decide the season. And then the fifth one, in 38 games, there will be a moment where we will lose, but we must continue to work. We need to improve without getting into depression. Ragazzi, 5 sentences that I went back from the words of Allegri that are clearly going into the direction tomorrow we are not ready to do a fantastic game. And that's what I'm blaming to Allegri. If you know your team more than anyone, more than myself, more than every single person that is watching the video today, except of Allegri himself, if you know, you need to solve it. You need to anticipate it. You need to find other words, because the words that you used of lowering enthusiasm, maybe they were not the right one. Because if the answer is what we saw yesterday, we can go into individual mistakes, because they were there. We can go towards Dionisi that outclassed us tactically. We can go towards everything. But if you are not able to change that head, then we did nothing. And then the 4th point, red card not given. Again, I don't want to spend too much time, but ragazzi, we didn't speak about it because I don't want to take it as an excuse. And it's not an excuse, but at the 58th minute, if you're not giving a red card to Berardi on what he did, what are we speaking about? What are we speaking about? And probably we would have even lost 3-1 with 11 against 10 We don't know what would happen there, but this is an objective fact. This is a red card, and I can't understand why it has not been shown to Berardi. It's not the first mistake this season against Juventus. It's not the first one. So we will have to be stronger than all these kind of things. But don't forget at the end of the season, when we will sum up, that these kind of mistakes are probably influencing a bit. Oh, ragazzi, that being said, we are in a growing process, and I will not play that roller coaster game. One time wow, one time bad, emotions. One time we are the best in the world, one time we are the worst of the world. I will not play that roller coaster game. I know it's unpopular, but I will also not play the #out game. I try to be balanced, and that's what I love to do. It's not for views, it's not for clicks. I would have probably more likes, more subscribers, more whatever you want to, screaming out and going totally trash. But and that's what I am, and that's who I am. I am a balanced person. No, I don't want Donnarumma after the disaster game of Szczesny. Because how many times did he do beautiful games? How many times? A few weeks ago, we were speaking about one of the best goalkeepers of Europe. Today, I don't want Donnarumma, especially because Donnarumma, if you know the career of Donnarumma, especially the last years since he joined Paris Saint-Germain, he did even more of these kind of stupid mistakes. I don't want Gatti out because of the performance, really bad performance of yesterday. But I was not on the train of Gatti over Alexandro at all costs, because Gatti is the new Chiellini. Gatti is not the new Chiellini. And I don't know if he will one day be the new Chiellini. I hope so. But today, on the 24th of September, he is not the new Chiellini. So ragazzi, calma how we are judging Gatti. I don't suddenly want Lukaku because of the blunder of Vlahovic yesterday. Horror game of Dusan. That's not why I want now Lukaku. In the summer, I told you so many times, Lukaku is not the disaster player that you are all describing. I was against it. It's not my favorite player. I didn't want him at Juventus, but I was defending the fact that he was not a disaster player as a lot of people were describing him. Then my only why having him at Juve was to help the team financially, because it could have given us more opportunities, maybe to sign a left back, going to find players to go towards a 4-3-3, maybe another midfielder if Pogba was still injured, whatever. But no, I don't want Lukaku now, changing my narrative because we have one bad game of Dusan Vlahovic this season. No, calma, tranquilli. I think that we overpraised Vlahovic in the first game. Yesterday, probably we are too harsh on him. They need a balance in that. And again, I will not throw away all the important improvements that we saw with the same team that they had last year, bar Timo Weah losing some quality players as Cuadrado, Di Maria, etc., etc. But I will not forget about all the beautiful improvements of higher pressing, the will of playing with velocity. We saw some improvements here and there. We are in a growing process, throwing everything away that we did just to jump again on a train that is called the #Allegri out. I don't want to do that. Allegri was able to do with the team beautiful things. Yesterday, together with the team, they did a horror thing. The thing that we have to keep in mind is we are not a Scudetto winning team, as repeated so many times. Romeo Agresti, when he is on the channel, is even repeating and underlining more than myself, but we are not the Scudetto favorites. Max Allegri said it, There are 3 teams above Juve, and it will be tough to enter that top 4, but we have to do better than yesterday, because it was unacceptable. Because even if I did a video of 20 minutes explaining you the whys, explaining and trying to find the individual mistakes, outclassed by Sassuolo, the coach was not able, and that's his responsibility to find the right words, and he was not able to find them. Well, it is unacceptable from everyone, and we have to do much better. If I could change one thing, is that quote of Thomas Maklouf, when he's saying a team that is afraid to win will lose. I don't want to be anymore afraid to lose, because there was another famous sentence that Max Allegri said yesterday. We have to make victories again the normality at Juventus, and not because you win 3 out of 4 games that it is an enthusiasm moment. Win against Udinese, against Empoli, against Lazio, should not be a moment of craziness and over enthusiasm, should be the normality so that you can play against yesterday's Sassuolo with cool-headed mind. Anyway, ragazzi, this was my opinion. Again, objective doesn't mean that I was correct. Let me know your comments in the comment section. Grazie, forza, Juve.